Hey there again, friends. In this video, we'll be dissecting the Tyrell number 6. So with this one, some of the issues that I have a lot of students come in with, maybe not issues, but the things that they tend to miss is, first and foremost at the beginning, quarter notes on beat 3, we tend to play those really short. We seem to want to just continue the 8th note trend, and since there's no specific marking, it's not staccato, it's not marcato, it's just a regular quarter note. We need to make sure we play those full value. We want to make sure we're giving plenty of contrast with that. From there, just making sure that when we have accents, especially these first few lines, it's pretty repetitive. I know the notes change, but the rhythms are almost identical. Where we place the accents are almost all identical. Dynamics, while we should be doing some shaping, is pretty much straightforward. So we really want to make sure that we're dialed in the consistency of not just the articulation, like the accents, but even just the normal articulations in beats 2 and 3. From there, as we go further into the piece, you'll notice, depending on what edition you have, I have a mezzo forte at the beginning, and then that's the only dynamic marking. Obviously, we want to make sure that we're being as musical as possible in an etude like this. I know there's quite a bit of technique and quite a bit of repetitiveness with it, but we want to try to be as musical as possible with this. And, I know I had the mindset when I was younger, why do we need to be musical and technical pieces? And, isn't it just about the technique and consistency? And that's obviously a very naive attitude to have, because especially if we can make technical etudes sound really pretty, when we get to the Bordonis, when we get to the Clarks that are just these beautiful flowing studies, it should be that much easier to really dissect the music out of it. So as we get down later on in the piece, as you get towards where we have all the 16th notes, just make sure we don't get machine gun-like. We want to make sure you have plenty of air behind the articulation. We don't need to play these short. They're 16th notes. They're going to go by quickly in a very short period of time. If we try to go and not have any, continuity with our air and energy behind our air, it's going to sound choppy. We're probably going to get bogged down. We're going to chip notes. All the things that we really try to strive against with these Tyrell etudes. And then from there, just, maintaining tempo. I've found as I've been kind of working this back up, my tendency is to kind of want to really push coming out of the 16th and then kind of back away a little bit as I get into the 16th run. So just constantly having that subdivision going in your head and not allowing yourself to slow down at all. Obviously, you want to be using your metronome, and that's how I kind of figured out how I was doing what I was doing. So make sure you're constantly using that to keep yourself honest. But this is a great etude to really start to build up your technique, especially if you feel like your single tongue lacks a little clarity. I think this is a great exercise, along with plenty of the Arbenz articulation studies, to really give you a greater grasp of your single tongue throughout all this. So without further ado, here's Tyrell 6. And there you have it. Happy practicing.